The 1% mindset. Small daily wins that change your life. My friend, let me talk to you for a minute. Not as a motivational speaker, not as somebody standing on a stage, not as somebody trying to impress you. I'm talking to you like we're sitting across from each other. No cameras, no audience, just real conversation. Because I know something about you. You want more. You want more out of your life. More growth, more peace, more discipline, more money, more impact, more purpose. And you're tired of starting strong and fading out. You're tired of being inspired on Monday and discouraged by Thursday. You're tired of feeling like you're capable of more, but not seeing it show up in your reality. And I get it. But let me tell you something that changed my life. It wasn't a breakthrough moment. It wasn't a viral opportunity. It wasn't some dramatic overnight transformation. It was the 1% mindset. Small daily wins. That's it. And I know that doesn't sound exciting. It doesn't sound flashy. It doesn't sound like something that makes headlines, but it works. And today, I want to walk you through it. Slowly, honestly, like I would if you were my closest friend. The lie we've been sold. We've been conditioned to believe in big moments. The big break, the big contract, the big announcement, the big transformation. We see before and after pictures. We see success stories. We see highlight reels. What we don't see is the boring middle, the early mornings, the tiny adjustments, the uncomfortable discipline, the consistent effort that no one applauds. We fall in love with outcomes and ignore process. And that's where most people lose, because real change doesn't come from one massive decision. It comes from thousands of tiny ones. You don't get in shape from one workout. You don't build wealth from one paycheck. You don't build character from one good choice. It's the accumulation. And that's what the 1% mindset is about. What the 1% mindset really means. The 1% mindset is simple. It means you focus on getting slightly better every single day. Not perfect, not extreme, not obsessive, just better. 1% more disciplined, 1% more focused, 1% more patient, 1% more courageous. You don't need to flip your life upside down in 24 hours. You just need to win today. Let me say that again. You just need to win today. And win doesn't mean dominate the world. It means keeping one promise to yourself. Just one. Maybe it's waking up when you said you would. Maybe it's finishing the workout. Maybe it's reading 10 pages. Maybe it's choosing water instead of soda. Maybe it's praying when you don't feel like it. Maybe it's working on your craft for 30 minutes without distraction. That's a win. And those wins stack. Why most people quit? Let's be honest. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they aim too high, too fast. They try to go from 0 to 100 overnight. New diet, new business, new schedule, new mindset, new everything. And for a few days, it feels powerful. But intensity without sustainability is self-sabotage. You burn out. You miss one day. Then guilt kicks in. Then you say, I messed up. I'll start again next week. And the cycle continues. The 1% mindset removes the pressure of perfection. It tells you, just improve slightly, not dramatically, slightly. That's manageable. That's repeatable. That's sustainable. The power of compounding. Let me break something down for you. If you improve by just 1% every day for a year, the version of you at the end of that year will be unrecognizable compared to who you are now. Because small improvements compound. Think about money. If you invest consistently, even small amounts grow over time because of compounding. The same principle applies to your habits. Read 10 pages a day. That's 3,650 pages a year. Work out 20 minutes a day. That's over 120 hours a year. Save a small amount daily. That turns into something significant. But here's the deeper part. Confidence compounds too. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-trust increases. And self-trust is power. When you trust yourself, you move differently. You speak differently. You take bigger risks. You stop doubting every step. That doesn't happen in one weekend seminar. That happens in daily integrity. You don't need motivation. You need structure. Let's talk about motivation. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Some days you wake up feeling unstoppable. Other days you wake up questioning everything. If you rely on motivation, your progress will be unstable. The 1% mindset isn't built on emotion. It's built on systems. Instead of saying, I'll work out when I feel motivated, you say, I work out at 6 a.m. That's what I do. Instead of saying, I'll work on my dream when I'm inspired, you say, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., I build. No drama, no negotiation. Structure removes decision fatigue, and the less you negotiate with yourself, the more consistent you become. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Let that sink in. The battle no one sees. There's a private war happening inside you every day. Comfort versus growth. Excuses versus discipline. Fear versus faith. And most of the world never sees that battle. They only see the results. But you and I both know the real fight happens in silence. When the alarm goes off. When nobody would know if you skipped. When you're tired. When you're discouraged. When progress feels slow. That's where the 1% mindset shines. Because it doesn't demand heroics. It demands small courage. Just enough courage to choose growth today. That's it. Small wins build identity. Here's something powerful. You don't become disciplined by declaring it. You become disciplined by acting disciplined. Identity follows action. If you write daily, you start seeing yourself as a writer. If you train daily, you start seeing yourself as an athlete. If you invest daily, you start seeing yourself as financially responsible. Small actions reshape identity. And once identity shifts, behavior becomes natural. You're not forcing it anymore. It's who you are. That's the hidden magic of the 1% mindset. It doesn't just change your results. It changes your self-image. The trap of comparison. Let me be real with you. Comparison will destroy your consistency. You scroll online, you see someone younger, making more money, someone fitter, someone more successful, someone further ahead, and suddenly your small progress feels insignificant. But you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. The 1% mindset keeps you focused on your lane. You're not competing with the world. You're competing with yesterday's version of you. That's it. Did you improve? Even slightly? That's success. Stay in your lane. Build your foundation. Stack your bricks. Comparison steals joy. Progress restores it. Embracing the boring. Can I tell you something most people won't say? Growth is boring. Real growth is repetitive. It's doing the same good habits over and over and over again. There's no fireworks, no dramatic music, no applause, just quiet effort. But that boring repetition is where strength is built. The best athletes practice fundamentals daily. The best musicians rehearse scales. The best entrepreneurs review numbers. The best leaders reflect consistently. Mastery loves monotony. If you can fall in love with the boring work, you will separate yourself from 90% of people. Because most people need excitement to stay committed. But winners, they stay committed even when it's quiet. Forgive yourself, but don't excuse yourself. Let's be balanced here. You're human. You will mess up. You'll miss days. You'll slip. You'll procrastinate sometimes. The 1% mindset doesn't mean perfection. It means resilience. If you fall, don't spiral. Don't turn one bad decision into a bad week. Forgive yourself quickly, but don't excuse yourself repeatedly. There's a difference. Grace keeps you moving. Excuses keep you stuck. Learn, adjust, continue. That's maturity. The long game. We live in a microwave culture. Everyone wants instant results. But meaningful success is a slow cooker. It takes time. And the 1% mindset forces you to think long term. You're not asking, how can I change my life this month? You're asking, who can I become this year? This decade? That shift changes everything. Because when you think long term, you stop chasing quick dopamine. You start investing in sustainable habits. You start building foundations instead of chasing flashes. And foundations outlast trends. You are closer than you think. Here's something I need you to hear. You are not as far behind as you feel. The frustration you feel, that tension, that desire for more, that's evidence of potential. But potential doesn't bloom through pressure alone. It blooms through patience. Keep stacking small wins. Keep showing up. Keep improving slightly. One day, you'll look back and realize the breakthrough wasn't one moment. It was thousands of small decisions that shaped you. A practical blueprint. Let's make this practical. If you want to start living the 1% mindset, do this. Pick 3 areas of your life: health, skill, spiritual growth, finances, relationships, mindset. Choose 3. Now ask yourself, what is one small daily action I can take in each area? Not huge, small. Health 20-minute walk. Skill 30 minutes of focused practice. Spiritual 10 minutes of prayer or reflection. Finances track expenses daily. Relationships send one intentional message. Mindset journal 1 page. That's it. 3 small wins per day. If you do that for a year, you won't recognize your life. The ripple effect. Here's what's beautiful. When you improve 1%, it affects everything. You wake up earlier, you feel more in control. You feel more in control, you make better decisions. You make better decisions, you build confidence. You build confidence, you take bigger opportunities. It ripples, and people around you feel it. Your energy shifts, your conversations shift, your standards shift. And when your standards rise, your life follows. Don't wait for a crisis. Some people only change when pain forces them to. Health scare, financial collapse, broken relationship. Don't wait for rock bottom to wake you up. Choose growth voluntarily. Choose discipline before desperation. The 1% mindset is proactive. It says, I will prepare before pressure comes, because pressure will come. And when it does, your small daily habits will hold you steady. The quiet confidence. After months of small wins, something changes. You stop needing validation. You stop announcing your goals. You move quietly because you know who you're becoming. You know what you're building. You don't need applause. That quiet confidence is powerful. It's not loud, it's steady. And steady beats loud every time. When you feel like quitting, there will be days when you want to quit. When progress feels invisible, when effort feels pointless. On those days, don't think about a year. Think about today. Just win today. Shrink the timeline. You don't need to win the month, just the day. Sometimes even just the hour. Momentum is fragile at first. Protect it, the legacy you're building. Let me zoom out for a second. This isn't just about money, or abs, or status. It's about legacy. Who are you becoming? What example are you setting? What story are you writing? Small daily wins shape character. Character shapes destiny, and destiny shapes legacy. The world doesn't need more hype. It needs more disciplined, consistent, grounded people. Be one of them. Final words to you, my friend. If I could sit across from you right now, I'd tell you this. You don't need to be extreme. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to commit to small daily growth. Protect your mornings. Guard your focus. Keep your promises. Improve slightly. Do that long enough, and your life will shift. Not dramatically at first, but steadily, and steady change lasts. The 1% mindset isn't sexy, but it's powerful, and it works. If this message spoke to you, not just inspired you, but challenged you, then don't let it stop here. Commit to your 1% today. Comment below and tell me one small habit you're starting right now. Not next week, not next month, right now. And if you're serious about growth, subscribe to this channel, because we're not chasing hype here. We're building discipline, we're building character, we're building legacy, 1% at a time. Let's grow together.